Happy New Year, everybody.
I was just going to say,
Welcome.
Happy Sunday. I was like,
Happy Sunday, Happy New Year.
I guess this is the first time we've seen you all.
First live of 2024, that's right, yeah. We've seen you in pre-recorded video form. But,
They've seen us.
Well, you've seen us, but we haven't
We've
seen
seen
you.
you in
Now
the comments.
Yes, now we're seeing you comment live.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
I've got a hot toddy in here.
I got nothing in here. Nothing.
Sorry.
I
don't know. You have the power to get your own hot toddy. I don't know.
If I only had a brain. No, I was pointing at my heart.
Oh, I see. Yes, the Grinch. 3 sizes too small.
Yeah. We got a lot to get through. We decided this year, because we added an extra top 10 list to the mix in the most available best value bourbons of 2023.
Right, so we have that, then the best overall.
Yeah, and then the best rye, which will be coming probably not this week. Actually, I know not this week.
Not this week.
Because it's a short week for me. I'm going to be traveling.
Travel.
So it'll be coming the week after that. And then, for the past couple of years, we've done these deep dive or analysis videos. So we thought, hey, let's do it. We're going to do it live.
We'll just do the analysis video.
We're going to do it live.
Live, and that way we
we'll
can take questions while we're doing it.
Yeah.
Because we thought 4 pieces of content all surrounding these lists was maybe too many. 4 pieces of produced content, so 4 Fridays in a row. It's kind of a lot.
It's a lot.
Wearing people out.
It's like, let's move on to 2024.
Right. So
after the rye episode.
We're just trying different things out this year, seeing what works best year to year. I don't know. Tell us what you think.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm gonna miss is having the little screen, like the news style, but. Yeah. Other than that, and the turning or whatever we do.
I thought about setting up cameras and switching it live.
That sounds really difficult.
I had to make all these slides for tonight's presentation.
Oh, so, Chad did his homework.
So no camera one, no camera, A camera, B camera. Yeah.
It's okay. I think they'll forgive us.
I hope so. Hey, we got a super chat, our first super chat of the year. Honor goes to Nick.
Ooh, that's true.
Nick says, "How is Zoe all fixed up?"
Thank you for asking. That was on the agenda to get to. Yes, so if you aren't a patron and haven't been checking the community updates on YouTube, we were in and out of the emergency vet middle of last week. She has pancreatitis. It's something that she has had in the past. Don't know what sets it off because she is a strictly no people food dog. So we don't know, but sometimes it happens. And we were up all night with her, and then we're at the emergency vet. I think it was Wednesday morning. We left for the emergency vet at 4:30 in the morning. Spent the entire day nursing her back to health.
Yeah.
And then we had to go check in with her regular vet and get her some more meds, and it was touch and go there for a minute. She's 12, so pancreatitis can be fatal, so it's a pretty serious diagnosis. But she's great now. We've nursed her all week.
Yeah. She's laying down right over there. Actually,
she's just hanging out with us.
Watch the show live.
She's almost
studio
fully
audience.
Recovered. Yeah, our studio audience. Thank you for asking, though. She appreciates it.
Yeah, thank you, Nick. Appreciate that. Well, I guess without any further ado, we should get into the deep diving.
I'm ready.
Hopefully you guys have watched both episodes. The last one just came out Friday, so you've had a couple days to watch it at least.
If you haven't, then you can always save this live for later.
It's true.
Watch it, make notes for when you're watching the videos, and I don't know. You can watch however you want.
Andrew, the super chat, saying that he loves the new value score formula.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, we tried, and we've gotten a little bit of feedback on that since then, and we'll bring that up as we go along.
Yeah,
but
fair.
One of the main things that people have been asking is what everything went into the contention, and that's sort of a two-parter, but I just went ahead and listed everything. So the first go-around, the first episode, 2 Fridays ago, the Big Daddy episode.
Best of the year.
Best of the
Top
year. 10. It was 39 bourbons and finished bourbons. I'm just going to say bourbons from now on, just bourbons. 39 bourbons. Then, when we did the most available best value ones with the 3 new categories, we went back and kind of combed through our things and found 8 more bottles to put in there. So we ranked those, the 4 categories. So that bumped us up to 47 total. So what I have here is all 47 listed. I think it is this one. Yes, it is. So who's in the consideration? All of them. We're not reading them. The ones in yellow were the, now you've got me saying benchmarks.
Controls.
Yeah, the staples. the controls, the non 2023 editions that we put in there because they're well loved, well reviewed ones.
Very available.
Yeah.
Very affordable.
Yeah, so that is
depending
what
on your budget.
was all in consideration. I'll leave it up there while we do another super chat, which is from James Wolverton.
James Wolverton.
Well, that makes it hard to read. I can read it over here, right?
Yeah, you can read it there.
Yeah, there we go. Happy New Year. Funny enough, Knob Creek makes a terrific old-fashioned with your syrup.
Thank you.
Cheers. Yeah.
So actually, I made this hot toddy, and I put a little bit of honey in the bottom, but instead of just going all honey for the sweetener, I put a little bit of honey and the golden hour syrup because I used a black tea with orange spice to put in the hot toddy too. You don't have to put tea in it, but I like it that way.
Yeah.
And it's really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy about it.
So that's our Elemental Elixirs Golden Hour old-fashioned syrup that's available on our site, Whiskey Ambitions.
Makes a good hot toddy.
Really proud of that. And thank you, James, both for the super chat and for trying out the product and liking it.
Yeah, we appreciate
We've been
it.
getting nothing but good reviews on it. I think it's pretty freaking good.
We frequent the same local coffee shop, and I saw
Yeah,
him this
you
morning,
saw-
and I was not quite awake. I walked in, and I was like, need tea. I was like, good morning. I was not prepared to see any other humans.
Yeah.
But it was always nice to see you.
Yeah. Let's talk about because in the now we're gonna be talking about the 2 Fridays ago episode for a little while.
Okay, and we're going to call that just the best of.
The best of. There you go.
Okay.
So in the best of episode, we did the on the bubbles, the 15 through 11. So I thought since we've already done those bubbles, we would go 20 through 16.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
yeah, and this is just
Almost on the
those,
bubble.
on those 4 categories, scoring on taste alone. So we actually had a tie, and I never know how to do that. If that makes it to where there is no 19, I just did it this way. So sue me. I don't know, but I put it as 2 number 20s. So the Four Roses Small Batch LE, which a lot of people have been asking about. In fact, a lot of comments, here, let's just bring us back for a second. A lot of comments were like, you guys must have not had the Four Roses 135th because I didn't see it ranked anywhere. And I was like, no, actually, we did. It just didn't show up. I mean, it showed up as 20th, tied for 20th.
What was it, last year or the year before that it won?
The year before
2021.
last. Yes.
No, 2022.
No, 2021.
Okay. It won. That's right, because it's 2023's best of. It won the whole thing.
Took the crown.
It's not like we're allergic to the idea of that one.
Well, I think
winning.
that's why why so many people were surprised
To not even see it like
To not even
rank,
see it chart.
basically. Yeah, to chart. Yeah.
This year was sort of not an off year, but just a different profile year. I've heard that from people who have tried it,
I agree with that.
and I just don't think it hit our palates.
I agree.
But I think last year it did chart. It didn't win at all, but it charted. And this year it just didn't.
Can you bring that
so-
in visual? Yeah. I wanna
Yeah,
talk about it.
yeah. Tied for Baker's 13, which is no
Interesting.
slouch.
No, but still, very different flavor profiles,
Yeah.
right? Like, extremely, basically opposite ends. I won't say the other type of chart I'm thinking of. You won't like it.
Oh, is it a box and whisker?
Yeah, they would be the whiskers. Anyways, at number 17, one that I truly love and like I'm a little surprised it didn't rank higher was the Bardstown Bourbon Company Chateau Doisy Dane.
I'm surprised about that too because when I tried it, I was like, it had this vintage taste to it.
So good.
We tried it a little flight at Bardstown Bourbon Company. We had some other BBC things in there, BBC Co. Excuse me, in there, and that one rose to the top for both of us.
Yeah, I think it's so unique, right? It has that Sauterne finish, and I think that's what makes
Yeah.
it stand out. I think I'm remembering that right.
Yeah,
Sauterne, yeah.
it's our turn.
Yeah, maybe that just like made it stand out from the other things that were in our top. Again, everything that came in basically our top 20, I would call like
Pretty close.
pretty exceptional also. Like
Yeah.
very highly rated. Like just because it charted lower doesn't mean I don't like it, you know? These
true.
are the best of the best and then rank those.
True. Yeah.
I think people forget that. They're like, "Well, why isn't this number 3?" And I'm like, "Well, it's number 14, so it's
Yeah,
like
it- you
it's
know,
still. I'm acknowledging it's
stone's
still
throw.
really good. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, the Augustus Buckner's 15 year, that's source stuff. That might be Beam. I don't know. Beam or likely Barton. Question mark. Don't know. Little Book Chapter 7. I'm just noticing how much Beam is in here because then you also have the Hardest
Hardest
Creek,
Creek.
Boston edition there. So potentially 3 beams, definitely 2. Or no, I'm sorry, maybe 4, definitely 3 there. Baker's, Little Book, Hardin's Creek. Those are beam.
Potentially
Augustus,
the Augusta.
Who knows, but yeah.
I mean, who's surprised? I think everybody knows that we're, occasional big fans of beam.
There's actually a slide dedicated to a beam effect that when I was doing my data analysis today, Sarah, I put on my fake glasses because I don't wear glasses, and one of those visor caps and one of those calculators that goes with those thing, and I found enough to where I made a dedicated beam slide.
Okay. Oh, you want to get it out now while we're talking about it, or do you want to get it out later?
Where is it? Here it is. Sure. No, I don't, because there's something that leads up to it.
Okay.
That's the only reason.
You're driving this this train. I'm just here.
That's the only reason. So moving on.
Yeah. What's next?
We're gonna do some surprises.
Ooh,
some
okay.
most surprising. WLW, the mighty WLW, William LaRue Weller came in 30th.
Now, an 87.25 is not a bad score.
It's not a bad score. Look how close we were on our independent blind scoring of that whiskey.
But
this is one that came in first. This has won or has been at least top 5 in several years. Several years.
Probably like every year that we've had it, it's charted. I think. I think it's worth noting that when we did the BTAC episode, that we both agreed that we thought that this year's WLW was a bit off.
Yeah, I'm just drinking out of this.
Is that the WLW?
No.
Oh, well, I didn't know.
Pour myself anything, and I'm thirsty.
I just thought you were just gonna go for it, and I was like, objection.
Objection, Your Honor. Yeah.
Leading the witness.
This is this is hard truth.
You didn't know when you opened
the source stuff. Yeah, Hopgoods.
Yeah.
Super chat here from Michael saying, I want to praise Whiskey Ambition's speed.
Oh.
I made a Christmas Day order and had it within a week. The syrup and coffee beans were fabulous, and the bottle cut candle is fragrantly beautiful.
Well,
wow.
Thank you. What a testimonial.
Pose. or
Pros.
Pros. Daggone it. I almost had it.
You
almost had you all fooled that I was sophisticated.
Very close. You'll get them next time.
Thank you, Michael. Appreciate that.
That's very nice of you to say. We appreciate that.
That's great. Enjoy Tony Bag of Donuts, and a very happy New Year to you all. And a question to the community, did anyone get bingo? Oh yeah, in the 12 days of its bourbon night. I rewatched and never heard a Bagui or a Scotland mentioned. Rigged.
Oh, I really thought we mentioned Scotland at one point.
A sober cheers till February. Okay, so you're doing dry January. Obviously we're not. We usually do dry February because of the best of the year overlap.
Right. It's so much content to get done in January that it's usually we do February. And it's a shorter month, so.
Yeah.
Not that it's like, whoa, we need to do the
Let's
shortest
do it in the shortest month.
But it's like, for content purposes.
No glasses yet, Chad. Not yet. Well,
Not
we'll
yet.
see. And when I get them, damn, I'm going to look distinguished. But thank you.
Nerd.
Thank you, Michael and Tony, for those super chats.
Yeah, thank you.
We appreciate it. Kicking it off 2024 in a good way. Yeah, I didn't think that
This is making me sleepy.
all this talking, because we do have some pours. We are going to drink tonight, but it's later, and it's germane to the topic.
I don't think Germaine was one of the. It was one of them. Good.
It was, and I said it at least twice.
I thought that was fun. I just wish there was like a way we could.
Well, people might not know. We should probably fill them in on what it was.
We just did its bourbon night holiday, like the 12 days of its bourbon night bingo.
Linked in the description.
So basically, we preloaded all of the potential things that could happen, and then.
Oh, Tony, you got a random card.
Yeah, every card was random.
So there was more that could fit on one card.
Correct.
So
because you have to put in.
Yeah, but I am curious if anyone won.
Yeah. I mean, well, we didn't really talk about it much. It was kind of like a last minute thing that I decided to throw in because like we didn't have anything else going on, so why not set up a bingo card for fun at the last minute? Not like we were busy.
No, not at all.
Next year, if everybody liked it, I mean, like maybe we could, do like first person to submit their completed bingo card with like references as to which episode.
Oh, that'd be
that
nice.
Seems like a lot of work, but
like homework,
if the prize is good, I think somebody would do it.
Yeah, for sure.
It would just have to be the first person who did it. So,
Brad Roof EDC saying also Lex Bourbon Con in January. Weird choice. Yeah,
it was in January last year.
Agreed, Max. That's
We will be there.
We will be there. We're
will
going to be
be
doing cocktail time.
Doing a session there.
Session.
What?
I don't know. Session.
But yeah, that'll be fun. If you're in Lexington, in or around January 19th and 20th, I believe, you should check it out.
Continuing with most surprising / disappointing, Booker's Mighty Fine Batch came in 48th. Now that's adjusted for those 8 new. They still went above it. It still stayed in last.
I thought it was 47. Anyways, whatever. However many it was, it
or
came
maybe
in last.
47. I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
I did it all today.
It came in last.
It came in last.
last. I just didn't want them to be like, wait, what was the other one?
Right. Yeah. I liked it more than you.
Yeah, by quite a bit. But that's okay.
Average of 70.5 because of that. Very surprising because I remember when we did the Bookers, that was alive, right? Yeah. I was like, all right, we found a good one. Mighty Fine Batch is Mighty Fine.
I agree, but there was still the question overall when we did that flight was, is a Booker's going to go in at all?
It wasn't a question to me. I thought, yes, absolutely. But maybe it's just because we've been drinking Bookers all night, and that was definitely the best Bookers of the 4.
The Flight Fight Effect.
The Flight Fight Effect.
It was the best one of those, but when you put it up against a whole different set of things.
Also super surprising because in previous years, now this is back when we couldn't get as much as we do nowadays for whatever reason,
couldn't
financial,
get as much what?
bourbon,
Oh.
connections, etc. Bookers won. It won one of the years. I think it might have been 2017.
Yeah, I think so. Like our first year or
first
second
year of doing it. First or second year of doing it, yeah. Smaller pool to pull from.
Right.
But it also could have just been it was better back then.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There are many variables that
taste change, da-da-da-da-da.
Sure, a lot of things.
I don't know why I'm doing that. Also, most surprising, Maker's Mark Cellar Aged. I wonder if people are wondering about this. Came in 35th.
Again, with an 86, that's not a bad score.
It's not a bad score, but still 35th. I gave it at least, it barely broke into the 90s for me.
I don't know why I wasn't feeling it.
Well, you were generally overall harder in your scoring than I was.
I'm a tough critic.
She is. There's nothing wrong with that as long as it's consistent.
Sure.
And you can look at it and it is consistent for both of us. But yeah, that was surprising.
I mean, I didn't think when I tried it, I didn't think this is the best thing I've had all year, but I did think this is the best Maker's product I've ever had.
We said this is the best Maker's product.
But then did it chart lower than BEP?
It
which
did
is
by
funny.
2 points.
Okay,
by two places. 2 places.
Which wouldn't have been the case had, I scored it as high as you had. Like if, because of that disparity between our scores, if I had been a little closer to where you were at.
Yeah.
If I hadn't been such a crab that day, it probably would have been fine. Anyways, it doesn't matter.
Well,
I do love the wood finishing series too. Those are my 2 favorite things that Makers does now is the cellar aged and the wood finishing series.
Yeah.
So
It wasn't.
is it terrible news if we like the wood finishing series better? That's cheaper and easier to find.
No,
I don't
actually,
think so.
That's something to celebrate. BEP was 32nd and the cellar was 35th. So
very close.
80. Oh yeah, they were 0.75 points apart in ranking. So the BEP was an 86.75.
Whoa.
But none of them are close enough score-wise for us to put them in our double check.
Right, we only do the double check for like
we
the
reserved for the top, and then we also put some bubbles in there and that type of thing.
Bubbles.
So on the bubble, yeah.
We didn't put bubbles in anything. Promise.
No. I got a few more.
Hot toddy's in the chat, and this is a hot toddy.
There you go.
It's hot toddy inception.
Hot toddy. Already did that one. So maybe that's the last one.
Chad, I have to say, your graphics look great.
Well, thank you.
You worked very hard on them.
The computer crashed, and I thought they were a round of applause. I thought it was gone.
But you finally found them?
Found the autosave thing to bring it back up, and I'd only lost about 10 minutes.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Biggest discrepancies. So our biggest discrepancy scoring-wise that's supposed to say Fortuna. It says Fortuna. I didn't have time to do any...
Usually I'm the proofreader.
Proofreading, so... Fortuna, barrel proof.
That's a big old difference.
So I liked it quite a bit, enough to put it, you saw cellar aged, I did 90, right?
Yeah.
94. You, Sarah, for whatever reason, you weren't feeling it, 82. So I gave it an 88.
Again, it's not that I'm not feeling it. I just didn't mark it as like, it's as exceptional as these other things we're tasting.
Sure.
Good. It's a love it. Is it a gotta have it?
Right.
Right? And
well,
in the Cold Stone ranking, of course.
Right. but you know, it's was our biggest point discrepancy. Now we kind of go down from there, but we do have some other point discrepancies we want to talk about. Rare breed, which we will address the rare breed in the room later.
Look at that.
9-point difference.
Look at my score. Yeah, no, that's bigger than 9 points.
That is an 11-point difference, Chad.
I see what you tried to do there.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I did it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Still not as big as Fortuna. This thing's going to be riddled with mistakes. I can already feel it.
Oh, that's okay.
But yeah, 76.5.
I mean, I scored it as 71. Do we want
Yeah.
to talk about that a little bit? Does that lead us into anything, or do you want to keep going on the slides?
I want to keep going. I want to get
Great.
through discrepancies.
Great.
So our next biggest was Knob Creek Single Barrel. This, again, was one of our staples, a 6.5-point difference. Then we had Baker's 13, which is a 5-point difference in our scores.
Which is really not that much, but...
Now, here it is right here, the beam effect. I kind of started seeing a pattern, so I wrote them down. You already saw the bigger ones, a 6.5 with the single barrel, Booker's 13, 5, Little Book 3, Hardin's Creek 1.25. The Campus Blend, the 17-year, even, but of all of those, is anyone shocked that I was always the higher score?
No.
So maybe it takes more in a beam product to impress you.
You're a beam boy.
Or you just always score lower. I don't know which it is. But
sometimes we scored the same on some things.
On our number 3,
I think we were exactly the
4
same.
of the year, the Campus Blend 17-year, that was top 5 for sure. I can't remember where it fell. But yeah, we were actually even on that one.
I'm just tough. I'm a tough scorer. I really need to... You got to blow me away, you know?
What about our most aligned?
Yeah, let's look at those.
With only a 1.5 point difference.
1.25.
1.25, thank you. George T. Stagg, our number 1 bourbon of the year.
Spoilers.
Wild Turkey Generations, and the Hardin's Creek Boston that we're talking about. Yeah, the 1.25.
Pretty close.
It gets even closer from there.
Ooh.
With a 1-point difference. Old Fitz Bottled and Bond Spring, the Remus Repeal 7. Just a 1-point difference for us. Then, oh, hi, that's the wrong button.
Hi. I didn't fix my face for that.
The WLW, yeah, a 0.5 difference in our scores on that one.
So nobody can be like, oh, well, one of you must have scored it really low, so that's why it charted so
Yeah.
low. Nope, we were pretty much on point.
Yep. Then a 0.25 difference. That Chattanooga Bottled and Bonds, the Bardstown Bourbon Company Discovery 10, and then a couple of our staples, Benchmark Full Proof and the Four Roses Small Batch Select. And then there were a few, I think literally a couple, Sarah, that we were dead on with our scoring. 3 of them. As we already said, the Jim Beam Campus Blend 17-year, the Four Roses Small Batch LE. So we are really with each other on scoring Four Roses products.
It's true, yeah.
And the James E. Pepper Barrel Proof. Yeah. So
There you go.
there you go.
I don't know. If we had all the time and resources in the world, I would love to do like a dedicated Chad's list and Sarah's list, just so that, because we do the average because it is a reflection of our channel and there's 2 of us.
Right.
And we're not always going to agree exactly. But I do think that we both strongly agree on the number 1. I mean, I would say the top 10 in general is like, neither of
Yeah.
us was like, no, this does not reflect my opinion.
Agreed.
Maybe exact order would shift based on who
It
was...
shifted a little bit. It shifted a
was
lot
answering.
more in the most available, best value.
But I just mean,
Double
like,
check.
if you asked me to do it and then you asked you to do it, how close would they be versus when we take these averages and stuff? And I was just saying, like, I wish in a world where we had time to do, like, all right, on this episode, we're going to really dig into Chad's list and then Sarah's list.
Well, I think about 8 or 9 out of 10 we shared in the top 10.
And then when we did our double check and tasted against the On the Bubble, we came to an agreement based on how we would rank them.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it's not reflective. I'm just saying, like, if we went back to the original
Just the
scoring,
places are different.
Yeah. It would be, I don't know. But we don't have to.
Yeah.
We don't have the time. And...
Or the resources.
And, again, we don't want to drag it out to be, we're in mid-February and we're still talking about the best of last year.
Right.
Maybe there's another way, another format to do that in. I'm not sure. Anyways, maybe it's a blog. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Well,
or we already did enough.
we can talk about the rare breed
Yeah.
incident. that
The rare breed incident of 2023.
that low score.
Oof.
Do you remember where it was?
Do you? There it is.
Yeah, a 76.5,
An
11
11
point difference.
For those of you who can count.
Yeah, not me excluded. Low. This is rare breed is one that has been as a staple has come in the top 10 before. It didn't last year, but the year before I believe it was in that top 10. Knob Creek is also snuck in there. I feel like we had really good last year and this year as far as competition. But why so low? And why did it come in 5th out of the 5 staples?
Right? When I would expect it to come in first, at least. Or
First or
close,
second.
first or second.
Battling with Knob Creek Single Barrel, or now this is the first year we put Benchmark Full Proof in there. Mm-hmm. We took 1792 Full Proof out, replaced it.
It's just harder to find now.
Because it's just getting harder and harder to
Benchmark
find.
Full Proof is pretty much everywhere.
Exactly.
At least according to our experience, which isn't
Yes.
everyone's.
So you expect it to be at least first, second, or third at the lowest, but it came in 5th.
5th. Which is like, it's a little bit of a head scratcher.
Now,
So what did that cause you to hypothesize?
here's the good news as far as our reputation goes, Sarah. It wasn't the same bottle that we had in our 64 bourbons under $100.
Okay.
Because that one won the whole shebang.
That's right.
And then for it to then tank in this
Does not make any sense.
does not compute. So here's what happens.
Well, what had happened was...
Yeah. I thought that we killed that bottle of rare breed and we needed a new one. So we went out. This was like late November, I think it was early December. When we're like, this is the last staple that we haven't put into our blind. So we went, we bought a new one, cracked it open, poured it, put it in. Then later, if you remember on the Flight Fight set, there's that reef there. Our bottle was behind there, so I couldn't see it. So
when you decorated
later,
the set...
I was like, when I was tearing down the set, I was like, oh, there's that bottle. That's the bottle that we used in the 64 under 100. Now we got this bottle over here that we just bought. We put into the best of the year.
That introduces a variable.
2 different bottles. But I'm glad because now we have something to test. Because if that bottle had been bottle killed, we wouldn't have had it. Yeah. So what I did is a pour full 4 things. One of these is the rare breed of the 64 under 100.
I actually don't know what all of these are.
One of these is the rare breed from the blind best of the year contention, the one that we scored 74 or whatever. And then there's 2 other Wild Turkey products that I won't even tell you just to keep it more blind. Now, they have been mixed up, so I don't know. I know what 4 are in here, but I don't know in what position. So I thought we'd do a little live flight fight and then rank them and then reveal it to you and see.
I think that sounds like fun.
See if we can find out what's what.
All right.
What's been going on in the chat here while we've been yapping?
This nose.
Dun, dun, dun. What's going on?
How's the weather where y'all are at? I know like a lot of people were expecting snow, some yucky conditions this weekend.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're doing well. We just got rain.
We got a little snow.
A little snow. Some flurries.
Yeah. Do. Just reading the chat.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say that was a Beam product.
Well, I do know better.
Well, I'm just saying. It tastes like a Beam product to me.
Oh, it is a little nutty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just checking on the dog.
All right.
Huh. Ooh, that one's a little spicy. And hot.
Isn't Cellar Age replacing the wood finishing series? According to makers, BEP was the last batch of the wood finishing series. So for a minute it was.
Yes.
But now if you actually go to Breaking Bourbon and you do their 2024 release calendar, you see a wood finishing series listed as a release. I don't think it has a name yet, or I just can't remember it. But when they lost Denny Potter and Jane Bowie, they were like, well, those are the 2 people, like, especially Jane, that was kind of hurt what she was in charge of. And then Denny was the master distiller. Like, they had 2 more releases kind of ahead of them. So we're like, after that, that might be it. But I think that was just kind of covering. while they whip something up.
Right. Well, they got to figure out
Yeah,
their plan.
They got to figure it out.
They have a reputation to uphold. I mean, that series is very, I think, widely regarded as a very good series. So
Yeah.
You can't just be like, just throw something out there. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So that will be coming back, thankfully. And hopefully it's good. Caitlin asked, do you think Rare Breed has changed or has the competition gotten better? I think it's changed because Rare Breed, again, making it to number 1 in the 64 under 100, and then so beating Benchmark, Knob Creek Single Barrel, Old Forester 100, whatever the other one was, and then now not beating them, in fact, coming 5th of those 5 and way far down in the others. I think we would have gotten different results had we put in that 64 under $100 bottle as opposed to this new one. All right.
I just don't know. Are we going to do our A-B, or you're just going to go through them all first?
I'm just going to go through them first.
I'm going to take this one back again.
Oh, that one's interesting. Mm-hmm. Good, and Kathy just got back from Philadelphia. 5 inches of snow there. None here in Virginia. That one's hot.
Yeah. I think I have a favorite so far.
Go ahead.
No, okay.
So yeah.
This is my second taster you haven't even been through once.
Right.
Right. Sorry.
Oh, that one's pretty classic. Well, it's taking a turn. I will say this. Not one of them raised their hand and said, hey, I'm bad.
Agreed. But
which is interesting.
It's closer than I thought it was going to be.
Now, see, here's the variable. We didn't do them like this when we scored. If we sat down with these individually, clean palette each time, and scored it out of those 4 categories, that's really where we would see.
Yeah, I just want to be upfront. Not that I doubt my answer, but I feel like I have an answer right now. However, 2 caveats. 1, I've been drinking this hot toddy, so my palate could be compromised because of that. 2, I'm drinking the hot toddy because I have a little bit of the post-holiday crud. Don't know if you can hear it. I'm fine, but it could be also, it's, all up in here, so it could be
That's why I'm turning the glass and not drinking from the same spot that she is.
Just in case,
Just in case. Still have to live with it, though.
Sorry.
We can also, not decide right now and go on.
Okay.
Kind of come back.
Can I tell you how I'm leaning?
Yeah.
This one is kind of standing out for me.
I think this one too.
Okay.
That one's a little, that one is fine, but it's a little muted.
This one. 3. Whatever. Yeah. I think for me, start to finish, this first one is kind of doing it all.
I'm up there with 1 or 2 so far, but I do want to kind of let them.
Well, yeah,
we can just let them sit here.
We'll just come back to it. We'll just come back. I don't have anywhere else to be.
Yeah, I want to ask the chat about this because we've gotten some comments about what's the laser code of that C923 large crack barrel proof. So Keith is saying it's got a large crack barrel proof with laser etching that's totally different format than anything I've ever seen over the past 4 years. Any idea what that's about? I open that to the chat because I haven't gone and Googled any of that. I just haven't had the time. Nor have I looked at our bottles to see what the... Because looking at laser etching is such a pain in the ass. To be honest with you, I hate that stuff.
He doesn't like it.
I don't. People are like, oh, what's the laser code on that bottle of yours?
Chad doesn't want to go do it. He doesn't want the homework.
I know.
Yeah, he's like, I gotta get up. I gotta go downstairs.
I'm supposed to remember that?
I think he just needs reading glasses.
That's not my type of brain.
His brain does not work.
I'm the kind of person when I pick up a guitar, I don't play covers. I try to write something because I don't remember covers.
Very cranky right now. About,
Unless I'm like
it's okay.
playing in like a gig or something, I'll memorize them. But
No one's attacking you.
I'm just saying, that's just how I am.
I know.
I'm curmudgeon.
I know. I'm aware.
Hey, Bruzel's in the chat.
You said earlier, he said,
up,
I have
TJ?
to live with her.
Well, not like that. We're down the final four in a blind for Bourbon Night's Whiskey of the Year. Oh, are we down? This is, we're trying to figure out a potential weirdness in Rare Breed. We had Rare Breed kind of tank in the rankings, and we had two bottles of Rare Breed.
Yeah.
Those are in here, and the two other Wild Turkey products are in here as, to widen the field to four. So we're kind of tasting on that and see what's
We're just kind of trying to decide if there was an anomaly or not, based on like which we used a new bottle of Rare Breed, but then found the bottle of Rare Breed that we had used in our best of our
64
and
100.
Shoot.
Yeah.
And
which
now
is like
we're
the first of the year.
Now we're like, could this have changed our results if we had found this bottle before? Anyways, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. But
I wish we were doing a blind flight of the best of the year right now. That'd be great.
Yeah. But I bet you guys know Bruzel. If you don't, go give his channel a look-see. We met him for the first time at Kentucky Bourbon Festival.
Yeah.
But he shouted us out before. He's got a Pappy 23 video out there, which is pretty funny because he uses our tasting notes to make a faux Pappy. And, well, anytime you actually put tobacco in something, it's not going to taste the best.
I thought it was cool.
It's really
I
entertaining.
liked it.
Yeah, it's very cool. Okay, I think we're caught up here. So let's go back to our charts. Where did we leave off?
Show us the data.
Show us them data. Most aligned. Okay. We're on this one? Yeah. All right, so what got added when we're doing the most value, best value, most available, what got added that we didn't have in the original 39? So Ben Holiday, because we had the Holiday Bald and Bond. Bardstown Bourbon Company Discovery 10, because we had the 11 already in there. Decided to add that.
Since it was a close,
Yeah.
you liked it a lot.
The James E. Pepper Barrel Proof, because honestly it got overlooked. The Green River Wheated, because we didn't set it aside as one that we thought could really contend with the best of the year. But we thought once we're doing adding value and availability, we thought it could do well, and it did. Top 5 right there. The Chattanooga Bottle and Bond Fall Edition, same story with it. The Remus Repeal Reserve 7, same story. Larceny Barrel Proof B523, because we thought it honestly wasn't worthy of going in there, but it actually charted blind pretty well. So
When it comes to availability and price. And,
yes.
You know.
And then the Bardstown Bourbon Company Origin Ride Bourbon, because I think that was an oversight too. So whoopsies. But we got to correct it, right? So that's the 8 that got added to make it 47 total in our second best of the year.
I know you guys are going to find this shocking, but this hot toddy's making me hot.
And you were like,
And
I'm freezing earlier.
Earlier I was freezing, which is why I think I have the crud. But I don't know. I was like, I'm so cold. He was like, it's fine in here. Now I'm drinking this hot toddy. I'm like, aha.
Yeah. Oh, no. I was sick for 2 days over that one. Apparently consuming tobacco in that manner is not good for you.
Yikes.
Good to know. Good to know.
At least
Sorry
it
you
lives
went through
forever
that.
on the internet.
At least you got content out
Temporary pain for video
everyone's
that lives
enjoyment.
forever.
Yeah, totally.
That's our motto.
Just work through the pain, Chad.
It's not. I don't.
Work through the pain.
This is why we don't do Jaeger bombs anymore.
Oh my God.
I will not endure temporary pain for enjoyment. Anyways.
I could be coerced sometimes. I think we still have some Jaeger left.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Nope. Those days are in the rear view for me.
Yeah. Green River Wheated is pretty damn good. Agreed. 35 bucks. I mean, come on.
That's the thing. It's like when you start weighing in how good some of this stuff is for the price point, that's never gonna, on a taste scale, gonna be able to compete with the George T. Stagg, which won the number 1.
Yeah.
However, you're much more likely to be able to find and afford the Green River Wheated. So that's why we thought, like, it's important to, like, reevaluate our scores, re-rank them or whatever, re-weight them with these other factors included, and introduce some things that maybe we said, hey, there's no chance that this Green River Wheated or whatever is going to chart top 10 or whatever.
Right.
It just can't compete.
And it didn't on taste.
on taste, yeah.
Yeah.
But when you compare the taste with the value
And the availability.
it does. I think a lot of people are interested in that.
For sure.
I'm interested in that.
Let me see. Did I leave anything out? Those are all the bottles.
Highly recommend this, by the way.
So who slid the most during the double check? And that would be these two right here. Two of our staples, the Benchmark Full Proof, and the Four Roses Small Batch Select.
We have a theory about that.
We do. Let's hit this super chat real quick. Oh, from Jerry. Hello, Jerry. He said, I baked Sarah's bread pudding with bourbon sauce for a church breakfast. It was quickly consumed.
Yay.
Much obliged for your sacrifice in making that video.
Don't.
I swear you cut yourself with the knife that we now call the Widowmaker.
The Widowmaker.
Yeah. Thank you, Jerry.
Thanks, Jerry. I'm just going to drink my...
There we go, yeah. Yeah, it is.
Need to make that a blog so that no one has to watch that video again because it was
You cut yourself
brutal.
and I said... Is it bad? And you said, it ain't good.
Well, it ain't good.
Yeah, well, it ain't good.
It wasn't good. That one took a while to heal.
It sure did. Really.
Chad had to be the hands.
Yeah, then I had to be the hands.
For the rest of the video, and I'm directing him, not a baker. So I'm like, take this much of this. And, yeah. What a fun time.
Yes.
Out of the past.
True.
Anyways, glad you enjoyed it. Glad they enjoyed it.
Yeah.
All right,
I want to taste these two.
No, before you said we got to talk about the biggest slide.
Oh, that's right. Okay, we'll do
Yeah,
that.
stay on track.
All right. So the staples scored well. They scored really well when you took their score off the 4 categories. Just to remind everyone, I know you're sick of hearing it. Nose, palate, finish, price, blind.
No.
Tag on it.
Nose, palate,
mouthfeel, finish. Blind. And then you take that score and you reveal what it is, and then you introduce 3 categories where you have to know what the bourbon is to be able to score those other 3 categories, which is availability, price, retail price.
Can I time you out?
Yes.
Those 2 things that you're talking about slid in the original.
They did.
Best of.
They did. All right. You're right.
I know. So may I?
Go for it.
Okay. So our theory is we scored them blind, taste-wise, so well in our original best of video in our tasting because they're both something that we taste a lot. So when we smell them and taste them and judge them, it's so familiar and comforting.
It's like home.
It's like home. It's like a big bowl of mashed potatoes. Like, who's not happy about it? Mm-hmm. And so our theory is that's the reason why they scored so well individually. However, when we put them in with our double check and actually tried them against some of these other things, obviously their flaws become more apparent, and so they slide. But like,
Fight effect.
That's why they, in our opinion, scored so well. And it's not like we deranked them or dethroned them because we're like, oh, we can't put these 2 staples in the top 10. It's not like that. It's just we recognize that there's just, on some level, it's like this isn't right. When we try these 2 things side by side, there is a disparity. We need to address that.
Yeah, because that double check where we had all those 10 poured, much like this, with the answers on the bottom, that was also blind. So we didn't know if we were shooing down the staples.
Yeah, we didn't know.
Down to 10th spot and
That's
then down to 14th and 15th. We didn't know until the very end. So, other way.
Got it.
There you go. Yeah, I'm definitely between those 2. Oh, hey, Perry's here too. What up, Perry?
Pear Bear. I think I still have my answer.
I just want to now let these 2 fight. But, yeah, it's definitely one of those 2.
I'm going there.
I am
You're not
very
ready.
Close between them.
How will you decide?
But I think.
Can we give the edge?
Yeah, I think we can give the
Okay,
edge.
great.
All right. And this is basically what we do in that double check.
This is what we
by the
do.
way. We kind of be like, is this better than this? No. You know, which ones need to fight each other?
Sometimes we'll advocate. I mean, sometimes it will come down to like, okay, between these 2, who's got it on the nose? This one. All right, who's got it on the palate? This one. But if this one now gets the next 2 categories, that's easy. We know it's like that, you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh. Okay.
This one has a interesting raisiny, grapey
And that one's dry. So, don't know.
Yeah, I think I would go like this. I think I would do it that way. 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st.
Because that one's just dry and hot, isn't it?
It is.
And this one, although not super a lot there, is a little bit more palatable.
So are we ready?
Yeah, do it.
All right. Shall we just go with first or last? What do you
Last.
want to do? All right, go for it.
All right, last, we put the... Oh, how weird.
Is that the rare breed from the best, or from the 64 under 100?
No.
Okay.
No, this is actually a, what do you call it? Russell's Reserve. Yeah, Target pick.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, this one is a Wild Turkey 101, but from 2013.
Okay.
So that kind of makes a little more sense.
2nd place.
This is the one of the rare breeds. This is the one that was in the thing.
In the best of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which makes that
Yeah.
the 64 under 100 bottle.
Yes.
Which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. But I really thought it would have been
I thought it would have been bigger.
more like that.
But
yeah.
I do, for me, like from the beginning, it was always the first one.
Mm-hmm.
There was never any A or B. It was
Yeah.
like number one, that I already know that's my winner. But I'm not saying that they're bad. It's just like the first one is really good.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So
did we learn much? I don't know.
no.
Did we make our case?
I don't think so.
I don't think so
No,
either.
not
Not
definitively
really.
at all. But so to fill you guys in again, what I put in the rare breed from the blind, the ranking,
The new bottle.
the new bottle, the rare breed, the older bottle, that was in the 64 under 100. Then
From earlier this year. Yeah.
we had a Russell's Reserve 9-year Target pick.
Target as in the store.
The store that we'd bought several months ago.
And if you're
to do
thinking
something with.
Target does barrel picks, well, they do
They
around
do.
here.
110 proof, so that's why I thought it would stand up to that 116.8. And then it's sort of that wild card, but still a Wild Turkey product, Wild Turkey 101, but it's from 2013. Big handle.
I think those two were the most off, like in terms of tasting. The old Wild Turkey had like that. I said it was like raisiny or something.
Yeah.
It had something else going on that I don't think any of the other ones had, which kind of makes sense since it's from 10 years ago, yesteryear. And then I agree with you that the Russells, that the Target pick was just kind of hot and dry.
I thought a 9-year 110 proof I was expecting it to be either the one that was in our blind or the Wild Turkey 101. But things don't go as always planned, folks.
So who
and that's why you
knows
do things blind.
What this means. I don't know what it means.
don't-
Do you have a takeaway?
Inconclusive.
Can write the summary on this one.
Yeah, exactly. A bullseye pick. It was bullseye number 5, I think is what it said on the label. So, yeah.
I'm like, Target needs to call us and
that was a nutty one.
We need to help them with their picks.
Glenn and Kathy Golf Whiskey saying, we just got home. We missed the beginning of the show. Was there an update on Zoe? Yes. She is recovering nicely. She's back on her normal food, off the chicken and rice.
She just finished up her last round of meds today.
She had pancreatitis,
So that's good.
by
She
the
had
way.
pancreatitis.
Yeah, as she
but
does.
Is bouncing back. It does happen, and I'm sure people are like, how do you keep letting your dog get pancreatitis? It's not, we don't feed her anything but her specific food and the treats that match that food. She doesn't go anywhere for the holidays because we've learned that lesson in the past.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's an accident or not. If it falls on the floor and she gets it, we're still going to the emergency vet. So, anyways.
We'll see her eating random things like piece of cardboard off the floor sometimes.
Dogs do. They find something and they chew it and then they're like...
Or the worst thing is when you're taking her on a walk and you're like, what are you doing over there? You're not sniffing, you're eating something.
Yeah, like somebody threw a chicken nugget on the ground or something and you're like, no. Anyways, it's a whole thing. So, don't throw food on the ground because you never know whose dog can get pancreatitis really easily.
Yeah.
And I can't blame her for wanting to eat a chicken nugget.
No.
None of those things happened this time. It just came out of the blue.
Yeah. In summary, keep drinking.
In summary.
Agreed, Raging Irishman. Agreed.
Anyways, thank you all for your concern. It was a very rough 48 hours. I don't think I've been that tired in a while.
Yeah.
We went to bed at 11:30 and she woke us up at 1 in the morning and then wanted to like go out until we were trying to make it until her vet opened at 8 a.m. We made it until about 4:15.
Yeah.
And I said, neither of us is going to get any sleep.
She had thrown up twice at that point.
A lot was going on.
A lot.
Not
Both
good.
ends.
But it wasn't good. So
and then we were at the vet until like 8 in the morning.
Yeah. We were exhausted.
Yeah.
And then we came home and slept.
All while I was trying to edit. The second best of the year
That's
video.
why we had to make the call of like, this ain't going to happen. Yeah, it's okay.
It's all right.
It's all right. But then,
actually, that came out Saturday. Here I was saying it came out
yesterday.
It came out yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yesterday. Today's Sunday, Chad.
Hopefully I didn't spoil anything. Hopefully you guys watched that one first.
Oh, well. It's too late now. Here we are.
Yeah.
You can still watch it. But yeah.
What?
We nursed her back to health, poor thing.
I found an Elmer T. Lee at Target.
Oh,
Scott.
great. Thanks a lot, Scott. Now he's going to be at Target every week. No, I'm just kidding. Good for you, Scott. I'm really proud.
Hey, Target employee, when's your Elmer come in? I don't know. I'll have to ask my manager.
There's no way in this market that's going to make it to the shelf.
No.
Ain't no way.
Ain't no way.
Ain't no way.
Ain't no way. What else? Deep dive. Let me look at my chicken scratch notes. Is there anything else?
I don't know. That's a lot for me to digest right now.
Yeah, it was a lot.
I don't know if it's just like the hot toddy that's making me sleepy because it's warm and comfy. Again, the syrup in there. If you like hot toddies, highly recommend. If you've already bought the golden hour syrup, put a little bit in your hot toddy instead of honey. In addition to, I don't know. I mean, if you want it extra sweet, I wouldn't use too much honey. Recommend.
Interesting.
It's pretty good.
I'll cry.
But yeah, it's like rocking me to sleep, which is nice. I'm not complaining.
Did want to talk about, some people were saying that maybe we gave too much weight to the price because we had 25 and 25. So the retail value and then a secondary value. So if it was a really great retail value and had no secondary, there's 50 points right there.
Maybe it should have been price as one and then split
12
50,
and a half,
50.
12 and a half. I think in one of my original iterations, I had that. You guys, I'm not a math person, but
I was trying to figure that out.
You wouldn't believe how complicated I had it in the beginning. I was taking the 25 possible points, adding 3 new categories, weighting things down.
So it was still out of 100.
16.66 possible, and then getting the percentage to what it was already scored to adjust that down.
And I came and looked at it and I was like, no.
Yeah, I'd already done like 3, and it had taken me an hour and a half.
I said, let me make you an Excel spreadsheet with a formula for this.
Way.
So we got there a little quicker.
We got there a little quicker, and then I called a friend who's a math whiz, and then was even quicker.
Even quicker.
We decided to do it out of 175, but then still
so we didn't have to
change. So like 100 was the working math.
We still made the percentage out of how it would be like basically it was just like if you were scoring a test and it was 150 or 175 total possible points. Yeah. You still got your percentage based on that. It doesn't really matter if it's out of 100 or not. But I agree. I think like for next year I would do the price as one and do 12.5 points for retail and 12.5 points for secondary, and then score those individually and then put them together and make it out of 150 total.
I think that would have made the WLW go down even further.
Agreed.
Because it got 25 points for its retail value. I don't care if it's $100, $110.
Well, it's any BTAC. It's like I said in the episode. You're buying it 10 out of 10 times.
Wait, did I say WLW or George C. Stack?
You said WLW.
I meant to say George C. Stack.
Either way.
Yeah. But then on its secondary, it got 1.25.
Right, because it's like
over $1,000. Even if it is the best bourbon of the year, that's still not a good value, right?
What is that, like a 10 times, 12 times markup?
Yeah,
it's up there. It's like 1,200 or more.
Yeah, just depends on where you are, where you see it.
So it's
how
like
greedy they get.
Yeah, it's great.
It's less than that too in places.
It's the best thing we tasted all year, but
I'll have $1,000 to fork over.
I'm not spending that.
Yeah.
It went from being at retail, I will buy it 10 out of 10 times, to at secondary, I will buy it 0 out of 10 times. And I think that's how we kind of approached like how we're judging those things. Obviously, it's subjective, so you may not agree with.
We can only deal with our bourbon budget. for as an example.
Right.
Yeah.
Subjective.
Availability, I think,
Again,
if
subjective.
we had had more time to dive into it, to like really Google and see
What's in how many markets.
Yeah, what's in how many markets, we could have gotten a better thing. We had to go more with our experience. So as we approach next year, having now done one of the secondary list, that's what we'll call it for short, I think maybe we can work them in tandem next year.
Well, I'm just wondering if we start building our list earlier, like we start building our spreadsheet of the contenders earlier and doing the research on what we know. I mean, a good chunk of them come in that October, November, December time frame, which is what makes it hard, is that we can't pre-work on it because we don't get them until...
Yeah.
Not a complaint, it's just everyone's trying to get their LEs out in the big spending season, you know, in Q4, as we call it in the biz.
Well, also...
But we could do some background work.
We might have to...
We can enlist the help of patrons.
True. And this would suck because so many things come out October, November, December. But I know some other people do this with theirs. They cut it off at like the start of December. So that opens you up to anything that came out in December the year before is eligible for that next year.
That's kind of sort of like Oscars, right?
Yeah, the cutoff of December. We've never done it that way before, but it would help in a way.
It would also complicate things in a way, but...
It would, but I think it would help things more.
Give and take, yeah. What do you guys think?
Yeah, so, I don't know. We like to be literal and say, release in 2023. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
The calendar year.
Except those been holidays. But...
But...
Yeah.
No ifs, ands, or buts, but...
But, except that.
And also... No, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you look at Brook Hill, which is a rare character item that we got a sample of, but that's only because we know Chad, who works
Watson, my daily Bourbon.
at there. So we're like, let's just, since the people didn't really get it until 2024, or aren't going to get it until 2024 mainly, let's just consider that for 2024.
Okay.
You know, even though we had it in our thing, let's just...
The masses won't have access until 2024.
Revisit that as a 2024 type of thing. So there's some things like that were very...
I mean, I think that's fair.
On the edge. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Reading some comments. Okay. Yeah, time to hire an unpaid intern.
Seriously.
Yeah. Well,
that's a hard thing to explain and hand off to someone else, though, if they don't like fully understand the industry and like the score and everything. It's like a lot, you know.
And then tell them to figure out availability and
do math equations. Yeah.
Based on their
knowledge. It would be difficult to ask someone to do something that we struggle to do ourselves, right. But with the right intern, I'm sure we could hire. Maybe there's like a math expert we could get as like a seasonal help.
We could do the P3 formula for it.
We could do the
price
P3.
per proof.
No, you're right, JG. I mean, the P3, you haven't got to dust that one off. You came up with that, and then...
I know. Me coming up with the math formula for something bourbon related.
Shocking.
I know. Yeah, that's crazy. Let's see. Long-time / part-time supporter here. Is there a way to buy BTAC at near retail outside of a lottery? If you're in an ABC state,
yes.
Now you have to put in the work, and whatever day that they're releasing it, you'll have to go and get there in line and wait in line and be able to put in the time. But if it's an ABC state, they have to sell it at retail.
Yeah.
So as long as you can devote the time to standing in that line and waiting for it, that's a way to get it.
Right.
Otherwise, no.
This is the Venn diagram. The Venn diagram that we talk about. You can have price, availability / convenience, and what's the other thing? Or maybe it's price, availability, and convenience. It can be priced right and available, like what you're saying, ABC stores, very inconvenient.
Very inconvenient.
Very inconvenient. Or you can have it available and convenient,
but the price
is going to be really high.
It's pick two of the three.
Where you can't, and there is no middle to that Venn diagram, or that's what we call the unicorn zone.
Yeah.
It ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
That's like people when they think they're going to come to Kentucky, walk in a mom and pop liquor store, see a Pappy on the shelf for retail, and walk out with it. And I'm like, that is
like
what we call...
we would let that sit there. No.
That's what we call the unicorn zone. It doesn't exist.
Now, there is another way, but it takes a lot of time, a lot of money, and some luck. But that is to make a relationship with a liquor store owner, become one of their very best customers, and then over time, as long as they don't already have that you have to usurp or whatever. Usurp that very best customer of theirs.
They've already got...
Become their top of the food chain, and then they'll be like,
and then maybe
for you, my best customer, I will let you have this, and I'll only charge you, $200 above retail or whatever, instead of $1,000 above retail.
Yeah.
So no, there's no good way.
At least not that we're aware of.
Yeah.
Where you can have the best of all the worlds.
I hear you can steal the barrels and then bury them in your backyard, and then there's a whole documentary about that.
I know. You can't say that on the internet.
Not recommended. Don't do that.
Yeah, we need a disclaimer. Our legal team will be very upset about this, Chad.
Yeah.
Don't have one.
True.
He does not condone any of the feelings or thoughts expressed in this video.
In that documentary.
They're his feelings and thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's that time, and we got through all of our slides.
Yay, we did it. Do you feel like you just came to class? I feel like that was sort of like, we should have had you all check in with your little clickers.
That's true.
You probably didn't have those when you were in school, in college. That's how they took attendance when I was in college in most of my classes. You had to buy this, clicker. It looked like a garage door opener, basically. And you had to bring it to... they didn't take attendance by roll call. They took attendance by... If you weren't there within the first 5 minutes of class and pointed your clicker at the screen, then you were counted as absent. And if you missed more than X number of classes, then... So you could be physically present, sitting there, but if you forgot your clicker, they would count you as absent.
So you'd have to give it to your buddy, and then he's like, oh, click,
correct.
Click,
yes.
Click.
Yeah, but I mean, they would catch on, but...
How?
What blows my mind is I'm physically sitting here in class ready to learn, and I'm telling you, hey, I forgot my clicker. Can you mark me as present since I'm sitting? No, you're absent. You don't have your clicker. You're looking at me.
I'm not absent. My clicker's
absent. Yeah. Anyways, let's not.
Wow. Nope, never had to do that. Didn't have that.
Mm-hmm. That's what they had when I was in school.
Nuts.
Don't know what they have now. That's old. Now it's probably like an app that you get on your phone or something.
Seemed like when you walk through the door, you could scan a key card.
You would think. I don't know.
Or something. I don't know.
Probably like a retinal scan.
Just pee in this cup, and that's how we know that you're there.
Very Minority Report of them. Anyways, okay.
Blood sample.
That's how you know it's time for us to go. When we've made the first movie reference, it's time to go.
True.
I drank my hot toddy. We're ready to go.
Burp Your Enthusiasm's here as well.
Sounds like a rotten system. I agree. Couldn't agree more. What a nice guy. Stand up human.
That's right. All right. Well, that'll do it. Next Sunday?
Will you be back?
I don't know. Questionable.
Chad's traveling. Only he knows his travel schedule.
Even I don't know it
I've tried to know it. Thought he was going to be gone this weekend. Found out that's not true.
No.
Here he is.
No, here I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you're back, then we'll see them. And if you're not back, then we won't see them.
There you go. But we'll still put this up.
Is that vague enough for you?
It says, see you next Sunday. So, yeah.
Until then, question mark?
Until then, question mark. Bye-bye.
Bye.